A year of COVID lockdowns has meant many of us have reevaluated part of our lives. So how's it affected young people who are making big calls about what to study, what career to choose, what to do with their life? In partnership with my Snapchat show, Stay Tuned, I spoke with Gen Z-ers about the toll this is taking and how they feel they are growing up fast.
Last March, I would have said that I was moving down to Oregon State University to live in the dorms. I had persuaded my parents so that I could become a journalist and do creative writing.
You know, it's going to be like a month or two before, we go back and then we're going to have prom and graduation. That obviously didn't happen.
Last March, students across the country went into lockdown, and what we all expected to last a few weeks or months turned into a year of new challenges.
Do you feel that you've actually learned in the past year?
It's kind of like hit or miss kind of situation, but it's just straight up just because my internet is not the best. So like just a lot of technical issues. And so that's kind of made it harder to learn. I want to say I learned some things, but it's like, I feel like I didn't get the full first year education that I was hoping for.
College enrollment is down, and universities are worried that declining trend will continue next school year. A Pew Research study found young people were the most likely to have lost their jobs or taken a pay cut because of the pandemic.
Gen Z during the pandemic has borne the economic brunt of this in the workforce.
Generational researcher Jason Dorsey's been studying the pandemic's effects on Gen Z.
And what we've seen is it's actually been even more impactful than other generation-defining events or moments, such as 9/11, because the key is it's lasted so incredibly long, and even more importantly, it's been similar around the world. It's caused them to rethink everything from careers, education, relationships, marriage, kids, being able to retire in the future, and even their own health.
One of the main things that it's changed for me is just what I do with my life.
For me personally, the pandemic has changed the way that I do school, the way I think.
To make sure like the career path I'm taking is okay with like future COVIDs, you know?
It makes me kind of want to do something that I know could be reliable.
Yeah, I just didn't go to college and I didn't want to come out and have a degree for a job that just doesn't exist anymore because the economy has been affected or who knows.
Research shows Gen Z was already fiscally conservative after watching their Gen X parents struggle financially during the Great Recession, and their pandemic experience will only cement that pragmatic sensibility. Like college freshman Caterley McGregor, who found out Oregon was rescinding her state scholarship in June because of budget cuts.
I knew then that I started need to look at a more secure career, which is when I started thinking about business and kind of abandoning the hope of becoming a journalist and following my dreams.
Those tough decisions have left many students feeling not just a loss of opportunity, but of youth.
Like I feel like I had to grow up faster because of this pandemic.
I had to grow up real quick. I've lost all those things that are supposed to make college memorable. Because a lot of those happen in your first year, and I've also lost the flexibility to switch my major and change career paths.
What was going through your head at that time when you recognized that these things that are supposed to happen to you when you're 18, when you are a senior in high school, we don't get those?
I was just really bummed. One of the main things that really kind of got me down was that I wanted my family to see me walk across that stage, because that was just like, it's such a huge accomplishment, and it just didn't happen.
The good news for students, getting a pandemic degree may not be as big of a setback as one might think.
I think long-term, the impacts of getting a degree during this period of time are probably not going to be as negative as we might assume. Not only because people have sort of a short-term memory, but remember, these are students that persisted through this period of time with their learning to still get a degree. I think really speaking to the adaptation and resilience that Gen Z brings to students right now, that's what they need to use, and that's what they need to be talking about.
The last thing I want to say, I think 2024, when you're set to graduate, hopefully that means that your family will get that moment of seeing you walk across the stage.
I cannot wait for that. That's just going to be such a great moment, and I could just share that with everyone. You know, I could just be like, I got this degree and I did it through a pandemic. It's going to be amazing.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here, and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.